You mentioned Ayuk. I'm going to fold that in with the other
Yeah.
issues in San Francisco. And
All
let's
right, cool.
start with the focal point of the team. He can't be paid until after this regular season ends. But Brock Purdy is positioning himself to be another one of the highest paid quarterbacks of all time as the numbers keep going up, and the 49ers know it's coming. Who knows what the final number is going to be? Who knows where the market's going to be by the end of the regular season? He had some interesting comments recently to Mike Silver, the San Francisco Chronicle. He wants to be dominant. He doesn't want to be in close games. He wants to go out there and be like Tom Brady and deliver the dagger in the second half and make the final quarter, or at least the bulk of it, just basically garbage time. That's how he wants to perform. That's what he's striving for. I don't know that it's going to happen or not, but he's setting a pretty high bar for himself, and he's already overcome a hell of a lot. Where he's trying to go from here isn't nearly as significant as what he's already accomplished in 2 years in the NFL.
He's done great things, right? I mean, he's the perfect match for the Shanahan system and what they do, right? But just like Tua a little bit, there's the question of like, how much is actually the player and how much is actually the awesome, genius offensive play designer in McDaniel or Shanahan? That's the big thing. And like we saw in the Super Bowl, right? Hey, there's some plays in that game or the Green Bay Packer game. Oh, wait, the Shanahan offense isn't just delivering people wide open and it's not a 7-on-7 tournament. Oh, no, he's got to make some plays on his own. And you go, well, he doesn't make as many now. I don't know what's going on. Well, it's because Shanahan can't carve up every great defense in football week in and week out. So that's what they're going to have to find out this year. Brock Purdy's really good. There's no doubt you can win a Super Bowl. I took a lot of flack because I didn't have him in my top 10 of my quarterback rankings, right? I don't think anybody in the NFL would, right? I don't know if you saw ESPN. They had their executives top 10 quarterbacks too. None of them had Brock Purdy in the top 10. So that's going to be the thing that we look for going forward here with Brock Purdy is, can he take the burden, right? Put some people on his back, on his shoulders from time to time, maybe when Shanahan's not cracking the code, like you always say, on a week-to-week basis, and can he carry the team that way? And that's where I have still big questions about it, right? I love his attitude. I love that he wants to dominate and do that. I think he realizes if they want to win the Super Bowl and get where he wants to get to, you can't like Mahomes. Hey, he loves Andy Reid. Andy Reid's awesome, but he makes like 7 or 8 plays in every Super Bowl where you go, that's not coaching. That's just awesome Mahomes. And can Brock Purdy do that? I don't know. So he's got to prove that to us this year.
Making the big throw in the big spot. That's the way you separate yourself from the rest of the quarterbacks and justify the faith, the contract, and that stature where it's just a given you're a top 5 guy. One of the items of news that came out recently, Purdy threw a bunch of interceptions in practice. And look, we've been down this road before. It goes all the way back to Marcus Mariota when everyone was breathlessly pointing out he hadn't thrown any interceptions. And at the same time, Aaron Rodgers said, I like throwing interceptions in training camp because I got to figure out who I can trust. I got to figure out where the windows really are. This is the time to do it. So this is the time to make mistakes. And that's basically what Purdy said. Do you agree with that? And should we all just simmer down when we see tweets and clips of quarterbacks throwing interceptions in training camp practices?
I mean, listen, I would agree with it to a degree, right? You definitely want to, get a feel for, if I'm aggressive, can I get away with this? Or wait, if this guy's closely covered, can I put it in a spot and trust that he'll go and get it and dominate the defender in like a 50-50 situation? Yeah, that's what training camp is for, right? But when I hear 7 interceptions in 2 days, I don't give a shit what you're trying or who you're doing. That's a whole lot of damn interceptions. I don't know any quarterback I've ever seen as a starting quarterback in football to throw 7 interceptions 2 days in a row in training camp. Like, never, Mike. I'm dead serious. Never. That is a really rare thing to staple next to a starting quarterback, right? I mean, I know I'm not worth a damn. I know that. I played in 1 playoff game as a player. I don't think I ever went through a training camp throwing 7 interceptions, a whole training camp. And John Gruden would tell you, I was the dummy who was like, I'll fire it in there. I'll be aggressive. I got the strongest arm on the team. Watch this. So that is a little alarming. And I think it's a little bit to the point of what we make at times. He has physical limitations that where I could show you certain plays and certain throws to where I'd go, wait, if some of the other quarterbacks in football had this situation, oh, wait, I'm about to throw here, but he's kind of covered. Oh, this guy's open deep, boom. And like Joe Burrow and all those guys make those plays all the time, Stafford, whatever. Those are like little things sometimes that Purdy can't do. He's a little bit more of like, hey, this is how it's drawn up. I'm going to do it just the way it's done. And I'll do exactly what you say, Coach Shanahan, and go from there. And I don't know if that necessarily lends itself to being the highest paid player on your team or highest paid, quarterback in football. We'll see this year.
Well, the best news for the 49ers is there's no way they can give him a new contract for now anyway, so they're forced to see how this season goes. They'll have a very large data point going into those negotiations based upon what he does in his second full season as a starter and third year in the NFL. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.